Hi, everybody. Yoshi Unleashed starts now.
Welcome everyone to Yoshi Unleashed with Yoshi Tatsu. I am one of your co-hosts, Lee. I am joined by KWK, the KFAB wrestling collector from the KFAB Heroes line, Sean, and we have our host, Yoshi Tatsu. Sean, how you doing today?
My flag is a little bit on the side, shifted a little bit, but that's okay. I'll fix it later. Yeah, I've been great. Thanks for coming in, guys.
And
Thank
Yoshi, how
you.
are you?
I'm always good, always fine.
Awesome. Yoshi, how has your week been?
Okay, this week. So I had a couple All Japan matches, and I went to my birthplace, Gifu. Then I saw how should I say, my sponsor? Yeah, yeah, that's it.
Did you
Okay.
find the gear?
What?
Did you find the gear?
Oh, just I went to my parents' house. Just I sleep. I didn't find,
Oh, so you went
but
to your parents' house, just go to sleep and didn't look for anything. Great. See,
yeah,
I've been asking for this since what? Okay,
I
let's
will
see.
find. I will.
January. Now we're in December.
I will find. Uh, I'm looking for, but
Is it
but
buried in a shrine somewhere?
yeah, but I didn't throw away my gear.
Okay.
So somewhere I have. I think. I don't know.
I'm waiting for it. I mean, I have never been in a situation where I'm offered to pay money for something that will take this long. Not even the guys that pre-order your figures will have to take this long, man. Come on.
Yeah. How's my action figure sales? Good or not? Bad?
I think we did okay. I'm waiting on the final numbers from Asylum. So, once I have that, then, I'll let you know. But
Yeah.
I would say overall, from the looks of it, with all the figures, you're looking at 500 figures going to be produced. So, on top of one of 100, the other ones, you're probably looking at somewhere around 140, 130, 120, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So, all of them are going to be really, really limited figures. So that's pretty much a guarantee. Yeah.
Lee, please cut my action figures orders number.
Okay.
Yeah, just to settle's good or bad. That's it. Don't say how many sold.
Yoshi, listen.
Yeah,
Pretty much most of the figures
yeah.
are in the range of 500 figures total anyway.
Okay.
So either way, it's not really that big of a deal.
Okay.
All right, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yoshi, are
So
you ready to talk wrestling?
I asked many Japanese friends, but almost nobody has PayPal account in Japan.
That's why I said you need to make your own store.
Yeah.
That's what we
No.
talked about when I was in Tokyo.
Yeah. Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
I understand
I
that.
swear to God, this guy is a riot today. Like,
Oh,
like what? Really? You okay? Good Lord.
oh yeah.
Yoshi, are you
What
ready
is
to talk some wrestling news?
what is today's
Okay. Well,
topics?
we are going to start with Ric Flair's comments
Okay.
that he made on AEW Rampage, which is pre-taped. And in
Yeah.
a segment, Ric Flair invited all the women in the audience from the ages
Yeah.
of 18 to 28 to meet
Yeah.
him in his hotel room, but no boyfriends or husbands were allowed. Now, the line
Oh,
was expected to be cut from the broadcast. However, I don't personally know if it was or not.
uh,
So that was the comment that he had made. Yoshi, what is your opinion of Ric Flair?
so looks like Ric Flair no feel happy, right?
So my understanding with the comments that he made after he had uh spoken about it, and he basically said on his own social media account
Yeah.
that he would be willing to walk away from AEW if needed. And the comments that he had made were, I am so tired of hearing all this negativity. Can't I simply enjoy being by my dear friend Sting's side for the next few months without so much hatred? I know I'm
Oh,
old, but that doesn't mean I can't enjoy life, he said. I have earned the right to do whatever I want, and I'm exactly where I want to be. I appreciate everything, Tony Khan, but I'm more than willing to walk away if I am embarrassing you or your company.
wow. I think he's a man. Ric Flair is a man because many people hesitate to talk about themselves, like honestly. But this is like his comment is a like very honest comment. You know,
Yeah.
uh, yeah. And then I think he's brave. Yeah,
Now, a lot of people have, from what I've seen, have been
yeah,
posting, it's Ric Flair, you know, this is his gimmick, this is who he is. Uh, and I mean, we've been around the wrestling world more than enough years. If you go back and watch Ric Flair from the 90s, whether it be WCW, WWF, go back to the Jim Crockett promotions of NWA and things to that nature. These comments are actually nothing new that he's made, with when it comes to women. Realistically,
mm.
I mean, it's Ric Flair, look at the plane ride from hell, but
So he
The one that
feels,
he did the helicopter.
yeah, yeah, sounds like right. That he feel he's old, right, getting old.
yeah, and
So
the problem that people are having is the specific comment with the women being 18 to 28 and him being in his 70s.
yeah. Mm. So like the ages are too different. So he feels he getting older. So he thinks it's time to leave the AW, right? He feel.
I don't think it is. I think it's actually more the fact that from people's comment that upset him. Not necessarily that I don't think that he really wants to leave. I just don't think that. I mean, how much money is he going to be left off from this deal? Because he's got his energy drink with this whole deal,
Okay.
amongst other stuff. I mean, Tony Khan has to give him a boatload of money for coming in.
Really?
So I wouldn't think so, but I think he probably said that out of frustration. But let's be honest. I mean, Lee, you said it correctly. Ric Flair just being Ric Flair. He's been doing that for God knows how many years now. Same thing, same freaking comment. So all of a sudden, all these finicky keyboard warriors started jumping on Ric Flair because, oh, he's saying something about 18-year-olds. Ooh, this is bad. Like, I hate to say, but what the fuck, man? Like, were you like came out of the wrestling shell like yesterday?
Yeah.
Like, come on. This is just ridiculous.
Really?
I don't. I know there are people that hate Ric Flair, but then every single wrestler in this business, there has to be someone that hates them. If there's no one that hates you in this business or dislike you in this business, you haven't made it in this damn business. So to me, it's more like I'm looking at this and it's like shit. Ric Flair has been saying that for years. I mean, he has so many marriages to fucking prove it, for crying out loud. So what's the big deal? People are making. I've realized this now. Like a lot of these people are going to make everything out of it into such a big deal because I don't want to drag politics involved or social issues involved, but it seems like a lot of people are being very, very conservative at this point in time. Like, you can't say anything without pissing off somebody in a big way. So, I mean, how you gonna sell tickets anymore? If it was MJF saying it, I'm sure guys would be like, ha ha ha, it's MJF. I'm pretty sure of it.
I would agree with you on that, and that's also because I'm solely going to say because MJF is like 26
Yeah,
or something like that. You know what I mean?
28, but
Yeah.
who's counting?
At least he's in a more age appropriate range for something like that. Otherwise, I mean, Yoshi, you got to uh, be around Ric Flair in the business and stuff. As a professional, what's Ric Flair like?
Yeah. So uh, it's hard to say. I don't know. Maybe I can say, or I don't know. I can't decide, but mm, it's hard to say. But so 2000, 2013, so his son, Ric Flair, passed away. So after a couple of days, like maybe something a week after a week, he came to like WWE show and he performed for the audience. Please imagine if you have a son, then your son passed away after a week. can you perform for the audience? My situation, I think I can't do that, but he did. So, you know, yeah, I can't imagine his like sadness, but of course, in the backstage, he looks like very sad. Yeah, but in front of audience, he's the same. You know, same as always, as usual. You know, Ric Flair is Ric Flair, so he's very professional. So I respect him, really respect him. You know, yeah, Ric Flair is Ric Flair. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Now, Ric Flair also had some other comments that
yeah,
he in regards to younger talents and giving advice. And Yoshi, uh, he was in an interview, and he had been asked about, you know,
yeah,
giving talent advice, and he said, I really don't do that much anymore, because if you want to know the truth, it's sad, but I think the same way in not just wrestling, but in other sports, the kids, the younger generation, looks more at what the fans are saying, social media, and they are sensitive. Everybody is sensitive and it's hurtful. But I quit giving advice when somebody asked me something and then I saw them walk over and ask someone 20 years younger the same question. I'm only going to tell you once if they ask, and if they really don't ask. People still ask me to watch their match and give my critiques. I do that. I'm delighted when someone asks me that. Someone just asked me last week. I love to help them out. I've had so much experience and wrestle so many different personalities, different body types, different styles, and I'm honored when they ask me that, and I like to give them advice. Now, the only downfall is he's not giving advice anymore. So, Yoshi,
yeah.
I have to ask you about this. Is did you ever get advice from Ric Flair at all?
No, I I asked him many times. Why not? Of course. Yeah. When I was in WWE, I
Mhm.
asked him about my match many times. He gave me the advice many times.
Awesome. And now that you are a veteran of the ring, do you have younger talents coming up to you asking you for advice?
Yeah. So if I like some young guy ask me about the wrestling, I will tell them the first of all work attitude. You know, work attitude is the most important, I think. Like respect each other. The
Mm.
owner is the most important part of wrestling. It's my opinion. So I will tell them. So techniques is so many people can teach them wrestling techniques, right? Skills. But not many people teach them like attitude, respect, honor about wrestling. So I will tell them, okay, everybody can do like moves, right?
Mm-hmm.
But so it's a no wrestling. This is like a circus, So the wrestling is the most important. Is the attitude and the respect, right? You know. So I will tell them if young guy ask me about wrestling. So many young guy ask me about their matches. So I will teach them about the match, but not many people ask me about the like attitude for the wrestling or what is most important for the wrestling. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to chime in on this one because I saw that firsthand when he was in Shanghai back in June. The first thing that Yoshi and I talked about, Yoshi was saying, "Hey, if any of these Chinese talents need advice, I'll be happy to give it to them." Like that was the first thing that he said, and I told the owner about it, Adrian, and it's very welcoming. The uh from what I have been told from others in the locker room, they were really happy that Yoshi was in those locker room and giving them ideas, giving them advice, and talk to them and all that kind of stuff. So um, I think that's something that may be missing in some companies because I was just looking at I was just watching an interview with Tully Blanchard, and he was asked when if whether AEW talents would go to him and ask for advice. He said no. So, I think that's something that's missing a lot in some companies, whether it's AEW or some of these independent promotions. So, I think that's something that people need to look at, to be honest. If you want longevity in wrestling, you really have to at least, talk to the veterans, ask them for advice, bounce off ideas. Just like I would say, most likely, just like any businesses, you need to.
I agree with that. So Yoshi, does it like how do you feel when these younger talents come up to you and ask you for advice?
yeah, I will teach them. So yeah, so attitude, the respect, honor is most important for the wrestling.
Okay.
But they're like in the base. After that, the skills, techniques, you know. Yeah, if like a like basic attitude, respect, honor, if the nothing, like just a circus. This is no wrestling. Yeah. If
You know
when
what's interesting, Yoshi? You know what's interesting from what you just said? 10 years ago, I did an interview with Osamu Nishimura,
okay,
and he practically said the same thing that you just said.
yeah,
The honor, the respect, everything. He said the same thing.
because we
So
start in Japan.
yeah, yeah, it's the same old style New Japan mentality, I think. that I think is missing in today's business.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the biggest word was honor and respect there. I feel like that's a missing piece of the puzzle nowadays.
Yeah.
But
If somebody has respect for the wrestling, not break like a contract, if leave the contract, not have contract other company, if respect for the wrestling. Yeah, can't do that. I can't do that if I have a contact terms. I can't do have new contract the other company. If
yeah,
I have respect. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yoshi, let's move on. Transition back to WWE. Um, WWE has been going under some new moves with their shows.
Yeah.
Fox is moving, or SmackDown is moving from Fox to the
Okay.
USA Network.
Mm.
NXT is heading to the CW Network, which also has on their app the NWA show.
Okay.
So WWE Raw is going to be moving as well. It
Yeah.
has not been announced, but their next TV deal would be it's expected to be announced before the new year in 2024. And as of right now, it looks like Warner Brothers Discovery, Disney,
Yeah.
Amazon, and
Yeah.
NBC are
Yeah.
the leading four companies that want to get WWE Raw on their programming. Raw has
Wow.
been Raw has been on the USA Network. It started in 1993, and then that deal ended in the 2000s when they took over where ECW was with Spike TV. In 2005, Raw moved back to the USA Network, where they've been ever since, almost 20 years. What do you think of Raw moving to another network? And there was at one time AEW having talks of being part of Warner Brothers Discovery and all this other stuff that they were having go on. So would this look like trouble for AEW?
Uh, maybe that's why WWE how should I say take over
Mhm.
the position, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Warner Brothers, I believe, is also incorporated with TNT and TBS, which are the two channels
Yeah.
that they're on. But and Warner Brothers has other channels as well, which is why I think they're specifically saying Discovery. I'm not sure what channel it would be, but that would mean Warner Brothers potentially two deals with the two top leading networks in America.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a big deal for Raw. I think it's good chances, right?
Yeah, I mean, Warner Brothers, if I'm not mistaken, Sean, you could help if you know more about it. Uh, was Ted Turner. Then
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ted,
Ted
you know,
Turner
Ted.
used to own TNA and TBS.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
um, as part of the deals, we know NXT moving from the USA Network to CW is
yeah.
getting like millions of dollars more.
Really.
Yeah. It's
It
yeah, it's
goes
getting
back to my comment last week too. I mean, signing CM Punk has to have something to do with Raw. Now, imagine CM Punk is on Raw and they sign a new deal with Warner Brothers. And if if I'm only guessing here, okay? If Warner Brothers decided to take Raw and ditch the entire AEW programming, because right now they're still at a stalemate in terms of negotiation. The last time I checked,
with
so nothing is concrete right now with AEW's deal, new deal anyway. And we have seen this before with Spike TV dropping ECW and then brought in Raw. So if that's going to happen, what is that going to say about AEW's future? That's going to be something really. It's going to hurt AEW in a big way if that's going to happen.
yes, one thing I have noticed, especially with the ratings, Collision is supposed to be like, I'm gonna say it, the secondary show to Dynamite.
Right.
And 2 weeks ago, the ratings were 250,000 views. And
That's like
last week,
TNA's numbers at one point.
yeah. And then last week, I believe it did increase uh to around like three, it went up like 100,000 to that 250-ish, somewhere around there. It went up to like 300,000 or something along those lines. But when you're having former WWE stars and stars from other companies come in on these shows, one, I have to say it's a bad time slot.
Hmm.
There's a reason why WCW Saturday night did not have the top talent on it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say it, but
It was a giveaway show mostly.
yeah, yeah, that's the way I look at it. The time slot is just a bad, Saturday, 8:05 or 8 o'clock, whatever. If you're a family, you're doing family stuff on the weekend. If you're a single guy, you're college, you're pre-gaming, getting ready to go to the bar. Or,
Hmm.
let's also face it, Saturday, if there's a local indie show and you're friends with guys that are on the show, or, you're big on the local independent show, you're going to the independent show.
Hmm.
I mean, who can't beat $15 for a front row seat? You know what I mean? And you get
True.
to watch it live and have a good time, as opposed to something that's pre-recorded.
Then you can DVR it.
Yeah, yeah, you can DVR it too now, like, and watch it later. Fast forward through the commercials. But, yeah, when it comes to this, I would say AW is and or should probably be looking at moving to another network if, hearing this news that WWE and Warner Brothers, especially considering Warner Brothers is like the top runner.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, they got a taste with AEW. Now let's go to the big leagues. That's how it feels to me.
Yeah, it's the same thing that I'm feeling right now, and it's not just that. It's also um right now from the looks of it, and I know probably some AEW diehards will probably bash me for saying this, but with the ratings down, number one, you can say, oh, there are a lot of other platforms that they may be doing well and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, TV deals are still the biggest deals that any programming can get. Not anything like YouTube or any other online platforms. So if you don't have that, you're screwed as a program. So if anything, I think right now is a really good time for AEW instead of spending tens of millions of dollars trying to acquire new WWE talent that just got out from WWE or whatever. They need heavy ass advertising. Like they seriously need like major advertising campaign to go, look, we got this guy, we got this guy, we got this guy. Okay, we got Sting, we got Flair, we got Edge, we got now he's Adam Copeland, Brian Danielson. We have MJF. All of these guys, you really have to put in gears to heavily promote them, not just to the core base fans, but to the mass audience. I think that's where the problem is right now of AEW is that they rely on too much of the diehard, hardcore audience base and completely forgot about the casual fans. I think that's where the problem is.
What do you think, Yoshi?
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to say. Yeah.
Like if you're running AEW, if Tony Khan said, "Hey Yoshi, you run AEW right now," okay?
I run.
From
Yeah.
yeah, like if Tony Khan say, okay, so you taking Brian Danielson's position, basically, like if something happens to Tony Khan, okay, everything goes to Yoshi to handle. All right, that's what Tony Khan has said. To if anything happens to him, first person to go to is Brian Danielson. Okay, so say for example, if you are in that position and you are running AEW with all of Tony Khan's money, okay,
Yeah.
or his father's money, Shaq Khan's money,
Yeah.
how are you going to make AEW at least to have more notoriety outside of the diehard fans?
About the outside match.
Yeah, like no, attracting more people to show.
Uh, I don't know, but if I'm Tony Khan,
Mm-hmm.
I will restart. So like end of the ECW. So when I was in WWE, ECW is gone, has gone, right? That was 2010, right? I think. Okay, so when ECW was gone,
Mm-hmm.
so right before one day, my son was born.
Mm.
Yeah. So I I can't forget that day is February 16th, 2010. So the that day my son was born.
Hmm.
So February 17th, my son was born. So I remember.
Hmm.
So I if I'm Tony Khan,
Hmm.
I want to proceed that ECW. I will hire Christian,
Hmm.
Beamer,
Hmm.
yeah, Hurricane, Zack
Hmm.
Ryder, like everybody. Alec, no, Kozlov,
Hmm. Alex
yeah,
Kozlov. Ah.
yeah, Kozlov, yeah, many guys. Then restart ECW. So
So
after,
you would ditch AEW completely to restart ECW.
yeah, if I'm Tony Khan, I will restart ECW. Like
Wow.
same wrestlers, that era, Christian, Tommy Dreamer, me, Hurricane, and Goldust. These five guys is like top babyface of ECW. The heel was William Regal, Zack Ryder, yeah, Kozlov, Ezekiel Jackson. Well, like was top heel. I will restart. Same
Wow.
situation. I will. I will start if I'm Tony Khan.
A lot of these guys have well, William Regal is now back in WWE. Tommy Dreamer is in Impact. I think Ezekiel Jackson is pretty much out of the business already. Wow, I don't know, man. I mean,
I did not see that coming.
yeah, I didn't see that coming either.
Did not see that coming.
The ECW period, would you say, Yoshi, is the happiest time that you were in WWE? Would you say? Would
Yeah,
you think so?
yeah.
See, that's why he's saying it. I knew it.
uh,
What's wrong?
No, nothing, nothing. I just thought for you to say that it has to be the happiest time when you were in WWE. That's why you want to bring it back.
Yeah.
well,
Why you guys laugh? I'm
No,
serious.
because I just thought I laugh because I guessed it correctly.
Yeah, you are right.
Yeah, I guessed it correctly that it was the happiest time when you were in WWE. That's why I laugh.
well, speaking of Tony Khan, he finally opened up about CM Punk a little bit. I'm gonna go to the
Oh,
share screen
finally,
again.
he's not like, oh, I was fear of my life or
Yeah,
oh, I can
nah,
talk about it legally and like
yeah. So his first original comments, I believe the interview was with Forbes or something like that, where um it was a UK based company, and they were supposed to be talking about All In 2024. The journalist had asked Tony Khan about CM Punk going to WWE, and he said he didn't have a comment. He said he couldn't legally talk about it, and he also said that this wasn't the time or the place, but he is ecstatic to talk about All In 2024 at Wembley Stadium, and even made the comments, "I'm not ducking or dodging your question. I just legally can't talk about it."
hmm.
So now Tony Khan has done an interview, Yoshi, with the New York Post, And knowing, this journalist had done their research, knowing that Tony Khan had said that he can't comment on Punk going to WWE, but he was asked to comment on the positive contributions in AEW that CM Punk made. And Tony Khan said the first dance was incredible, was an incredible moment in wrestling, and was part of a very important time in AEW. Khan said, All Out 2021, along with All In, are our biggest pay-per-views of all time, and we've had a lot of great success as a company, as a team, and in some of the most exciting times, CM Punk has been a big part of that team. The Second City Saint made his AEW debut in his hometown of Chicago, August 2021. That second episode of AEW Rampage was dubbed The First Dance and marked the company's first event at the famed United Center, adding fuel to the rumors that Punk was returning to pro wrestling after 7 years away. So Tony Khan did have positive things to say about CM Punk in AEW. Now, after hearing that, Yoshi, we've seen CM Punk in his debut, and he made a debut on Raw, was given a microphone, and we didn't get a pipe bomb that people were expecting, so to speak, but he was in good spirits, it seemed like. He referred to himself being back home. He was taking photographs with other WWE talent and was even seen taking photos with fans along the ramp when Raw went off the air. Now, there was one point where a lot of fans speculated he was trashing the Young Bucks at the end. He had said, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. And then did like a little victory lap in the ring before exiting the ring, which, Sean, if you had watched the first Collision without CM Punk, the Young Bucks came out and did a victory dance around the ring, citing CM Punk's no longer here. Yay, we did it. Yay, we did it.
Right. Yeah.
So, Yoshi, I got to ask, what's your opinion on CM Punk seemingly being in good spirits? And do you think he's had a change of heart when it comes to WWE after the whole AEW fiasco and everything that went on there for him?
I don't think he hasn't changed. He never changed, I think.
Ooh.
Yes, Punk is CM Punk, I think.
Okay. And what do you think of Tony Khan's comments? At first he refusing to, he has not talked about CM Punk going to WWE yet. He's citing that legal reasons he can't. I don't know what those legal reasons would be, but he's just
fearing for his life.
He go him fire. That's why.
No, he didn't. He didn't get CM Punk fired.
Really?
Ryan Danielson did.
Yes. So okay, let's talk about that too. So Yoshi, Tony Khan had a committee basically review if CM Punk should still be in AEW or not. And one of the people on those committee was Bryan Danielson.
He was leading it. And then there was a lawyer outside of AEW, and then there was an in-house lawyer who was also in the committee. So it was a committee consist of 3 people.
2 lawyers, and Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
And apparently Bryan had gone to talents of AEW essentially asking, is CM Punk good here or should we get rid of him? And essentially based off what the talents he had spoken to and what the committee had thought, Bryan Danielson essentially was part of letting go of CM Punk in AEW. And after he had even posted a cryptic tweet after CM Punk made his WWE debut, saying the quote was basically, my dad had always said, you're not going to make the right decisions of what's right for money versus morals and stuff like that. And basically, like, he had even said CM Punk is a friend of his, but you got to do what you got to do type deal.
I think right now CM Punk actually thanked Bryan Danielson for helping him to go back to WWE, if anything.
It's a great way to look at it. Yoshi, what do you think of all of that?
I don't know. They're used to Bryan Danielson on the same Punk is good relation. So yeah. Never say never.
Yeah. We all thought that was CM Punk going back to WWE, and here we are. So
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. Never say never. Now,
I
Yoshi,
still win. I still win, by the way. I'm gonna keep talking about this.
Yoshi, we're gonna end the show on a weird segment, if you will. And this one is in regards to the pressure of being a world champion, so to speak. Now, the Road Dogg Jesse James had basically been asked about wanting to be, or if he would be, a world champion in his wrestling days when it came to WWE.
He didn't want to. He didn't want to be world champion.
No. So what he said was, I guess some people would want to hear me say, like, I'd love a world title run. I would not have loved a world title run. I wasn't
Why?
that I wasn't that guy. And now that I'm sober, I still wouldn't have been that guy. Like, that's not me. Don't put that much responsibility on me. Do I have to be the face too? Like, this ain't a face that you want to make the face, for one thing. But for another thing, it's like, I don't want to be that dude. He continued, so I got to do everything, man. It's been a dream. It's been a dream that I'm still dreaming. Off of that 2 years, I got a podcast. Some of that 2 years, I got a job in the industry. Off of that 2 years, the relationship built during them. So I don't know, man. I've had a great career. He
Wow.
was an intercontinental champion. I remember that. Uh, but Yoshi, if WWE ever came to you and said, hey, we want to make you the WWE World Champion, what's Yoshi Tatsu going to say?
Of course, I want to be world champion. Of course. Yeah. Yeah, I will.
I can see it now. If WWE ever made Yoshi champion, Yoshi will probably be holding his boy on one hand, holding his daughter on another hand, and just raise it up so high in the air that
Yeah.
that he's probably gonna be afraid of dropping them. That's how Yoshi's gonna be like, I think.
Yeah. if I got the world champion now, I do same thing. My son and my daughter, like this, like 16 years old and 13 years old now. So I will do. I will do now. Yeah.
So Yoshi
But
is the
what
WWE
what do you think though, Yoshi? Sorry, Lee, but
No.
Yoshi,
Yeah.
I think with being the WWE champion, it comes with a lot of responsibility. Do you think at the time when you were in WWE, you will be able to handle those responsibilities?
Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah. I will. I can make world happy if I can get the world champion. Yeah, why not? Yeah. Okay, how about this? I will ask Tony Khan, please make like a proceed or to be continued on ECW in
Well,
directory.
Tony Khan will have to buy that ECW name from WWE first because because WWE owns the ECW name now.
Yeah. Can you imagine that meeting?
Ugh.
Maybe he can't. So WWE want to sell, right? Won't sell, will not sell ECW, right?
Well,
Name.
he will probably have to talk to Nick Khan. The meeting of the Khans. Imagine that. Wow.
I didn't picture that.
Mm.
I feel like hell would freeze over for that.
Oh yeah, yeah. And think about what Tony Khan has said on his tweets about previously WWE tempering the contract that he was like this was personal and all that kind of stuff. For him to go into a meeting with top WWE execs. I mean, you sure Tony Khan wouldn't be like, and then just shits go flying? I don't know. I
I
don't
will
know.
I will ask directory on X.
Yeah, that's gonna be funny. Like, do you want to see Yoshi Tatsu restart an ECW brand?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably do that on X. That will be interesting. See what people said next week.
Yeah, let's run a poll.
Yeah, let's run that.
Run a poll,
Like
Yoshi. See what we get.
like
Yeah.
if like to be continued of ECW like this, I'm like this, Goldust like this, like this, like this. And like
Well,
I can make the
well,
story.
well. Okay. Here's a couple of problems. Number one, some of those names are owned by WWE. Number two, a couple of these talents are signed with other companies. So you have Tommy Dreamer with Impact, Regal with WWE. Some people may not even want to sign a contract. I don't know. Yeah. So if you ever really want to do something like that, that's gonna be like too many difficult scenarios for you to make it work. Like to include those talents. That is.
Yeah, but it's it's okay just to make the story on Twitter on X,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You can
Yeah.
definitely ask. Definitely
I
ask.
can I can use the ECW name, right?
Yeah, it's just a comment from you. Yeah, obviously you're not really
Yeah,
restarting ECW, so you know. Just say, I guess it's just something like, in an imaginative world or something, perhaps.
I can write a novel about
Yeah,
2024 CW.
we should have a book with Yoshi Tatsu tells all about his 7 years in WWE.
I agree.
Yeah.
Fans, you can go to Yoshi Tatsu's Twitter account. It is at Yoshi Tatsuism for
Yeah.
that poll, and you can vote if you think Yoshi Tatsu should restart ECW with the new generation of ECW stars when he was in ECW.
Hmm.
And fans, you can listen to this podcast on Spotify, Podbean, Podbay, Red Circle, you name it, we're there. It's Yoshi Unleashed. You can also
Yeah.
go to youtube.com at Yoshi Unleashed and watch these podcast episodes. And you can also watch Yoshi Unleashed shorts. And we will soon have Yoshi Unleashed, the blooper reel. So make sure you go and you check that out, fans. And make sure you go and you find Yoshi Tatsu on social media. He is on X, I had just stated, at Yoshi Tatsuism. And he is on Instagram at Yoshi Tatsuism. Yoshi, close
Yeah.
out the show, my man.
Okay. Thank you for watching Yoshi Unleashed. Let's talk about new ECW every week from now on.